Welcome back to Supreme Black Podcast. This is your co-host, D Rose. Happy Wednesday, fellas. What's going on in y'all world, man? How everything kicking it?
Everything kicking good. Just came back from Orlando, Florida. Man, my sister graduated with her master's in some type of nursing program. I don't remember which one. She got about 5 degrees. But yeah, she got her master's in the nursing program. So we had a good time down there staying on the Disney resort. Man, just wonderful to see your people having their dreams come true, this, that, and the other. So that's great to see. I also was able to go down there and knock some comedy out as well, meet some new comedians. So yeah, it was a good move to be down in Florida. Nice little weather, but it's cold. Came back to Tennessee, boy, man, it was so cold. And I landed back here, I almost wouldn't have shot. But everything has been great. Congratulations to my sister Treese for graduating, and man, shout out to every comedian I met down in Orlando and the comedy spots, man. I had a wonderful time.
That's what's up right there, man. Shout out to Trees too, man. That's major. Orlando is always a good time, man. I remember when I lived down there, I called my mama. It was like December, January, man. I sent her a picture. I had on shorts and flip flops. She said, "Boy, ain't nowhere in here, 'cause, man, we freezing in Tennessee." But how the comedy shows go though?
Oh, they went real good, man. They went real good. I ain't got no complaints about that. They showed me love, man. Crushed it in there. One dude gonna send me a video. Should be getting in like the next couple of days where he recorded my set for me. But yeah, man, crushed it down there, man. Everybody loved it, man. Had a good time.
Well, the next show down there, man. You know I love the O now.
Now, I don't know. I'm gonna have to kick it with him and piece that together. You know what I mean? Because I didn't really get to talk to a lot. After I did the first show, I didn't really get to talk to a lot of people because I had to rush over to the next show. Okay. So yeah, but I got contacts and stuff like that going on. So definitely gonna hit him up and see if we can get down there for another show.
That's what's up. What's going on in your world, Spirits, man?
Salute to Treese. Congratulations. That's big. Anytime you can educate yourself at any level, but add a little piece of paper to your portfolio. So salute to her. For me, a little under the weather, but outside of that, everything's good and stuff. So been waiting on this promotion from the job for the longest that my manager and supervisor been trying to get me in, but it just wasn't open yet. But I got a hit from my manager today talking about fill out for that position because they opened it. And so just waiting for that to open up, and then about to begin this journey. Can't say what the journey is right now, but after a little while, about to begin this journey and do something with that. But outside of that, everything good. Things are moving in the right direction. I'm blessed and highly favored, and just can't wait to kick this cold. That's about it for me.
That's what's up, man. I think it's that weather change. I was like that a couple weeks ago. I damn near was hoarse the week after Flake them had left. That I don't know what it is. I felt like it was something in the air for real, man. But I'm gonna go on and speak that promotion into existence, man. So hey, that's what's up.
You know you was hoarse because you was standing on couches. Don't got nothing to do with that weather.
Right, ain't got nothing to do with the weather.
Hey, I was under on my best behavior, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do too much. Them folks made me get down off their shit like this. Hey, but nah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to speak it into existence, man. I gotta claim that. But even with that other move though, I like how you moving with that. Not saying too much, just gonna move with action behind it. When they know, you feel me?
Yes, sir.
Everything been great on my end, man. I got back in the mode of, got me some miles in over the weekend. It was a very great weekend. Sunday, my God, boy, how about them Cowboys, fella? Yeah, I don't want to talk. Oh, okay.
What's there to talk about? I mean, we made a father that, what? I mean,
okay.
NFL 32. We made a father that was 26. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, Flake. Let's ride.
Right. Hey, season's been over since week 7. Man, get out of here.
What? Week 3, I got on to put them colors up. I said we straight this year, man. I'll wait till the draft. Yeah, but no, man, it's been a great weekend, man. I really can't complain. Like I say every week, everybody's still here, everybody's still prospering, you know, and that's just really what we're here for. But to get into the topic, man, first and foremost, rising power to Tyre Nichols. It was a young black man that was killed by 5 black police officers in the city of Memphis, Tennessee. They have yet to release the videos, but I think pretty much, unless you live up under a rock, you are pretty aware of what has occurred. We've yet to see it. I think they have Ben Crump on the case. There's been a lot of national attention around it. They have compared it to Rodney King, so that's what we're going to discuss. I don't really know how to even find the words with this one because honestly, ain't no race baiting with this one. This is just strictly what it is. You know, cowards in uniform.
All you skin folk ain't your kinfolk. You're
yeah. What's y'all thoughts, man? Once you heard of the story, I started with this. Once you heard the story, what were your initial thoughts? And then when you found out the real story, what was your reaction?
Well, first and foremost, I do just want to touch on this topic just because we get some reviews, people say some things, and again, those people are faceless because they do it behind their keyboards on the computers and everything. But we have been called a racist program, a racist podcast, or whatever the case may be. But I just want to set the record straight. We don't discriminate against any injustice or anybody doing anything wrong. So therefore, when black people are in the wrong and the ones that are committing these atrocities, we call them out and bring their ass to the fire too. So I just want to make it clear for those people who think that, oh, we just go hard on, you know, our white brothers and sisters and Caucasians and everything. That's not the case. Again, we are supremely black, but outside of that, that does not mean that we hate or discriminate against any other race. Now, as fact as the story goes, it just really pissed me off. It pissed me off. And then, like, the thing that really made it worse is when I seen the pictures of these 5 black officers, these 5 black cowards, these 5 black pussies, and all this other stuff. Like, because they are young black men who look like us, that could be our homies, our friends, our uncles, our cousins, and everything, and they look well-groomed. They look like they got something about themselves. And then when you see and you hear the story, it's just like damn. And then the way that they try to cover it up or keep certain facts out of the loop and out the wind is just crazy. And I'm wondering, like, what's taking so long with this video? Like, because you still don't know the full story yet because we have not seen the video. And so, like, we know that there is video, but we haven't seen it. So is it that bad? Like, is it that bad that they're afraid or they haven't released the video yet? Because one, we know how Memphis is. Memphis, you know, I don't know the actual statistics, but predominantly black city and everything, you know. And, you know, them people don't play. And, you know, so I'm wondering if once the video come out, they're afraid of something like the LA riots happening in Memphis. And that's why they're keeping the video under grasp and everything, because they said there was a press release that said the video was supposed to come out like 2 days ago or something, and it has still yet to be released. So that's like really my big concern as far as that. Like, damn, did they really go that wild and that stupid and crazy on this man? And again, rest in power, King. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, Memphis is 64% black, you know, grit and grind city. They live by that, you know, and it's not glorifying it, but just looking at the statistics, you know, top 10, probably top 5 in murder rate per capita. So, I mean, you know, it's a dangerous city. So, but my initial thoughts is I honestly thought that when it was just put out, I was expecting for it to be white officers that had killed another black man. That was my original thoughts, right? So as I got a couple phone calls and I'm like, okay, let me look at this story. Somebody sent it to me on Instagram. So I click on it. I'm like, I don't think this is the right one. They was like, nah, that's why we sent it to you. So, you know, I would love for y'all to talk about the podcast, and Spirits had brought it up, you know, let's go ahead and make it a topic. But when I found out it was them, you know, I'm looking, I'm just like, bro, it's no way that we've gotten to a point where we got our own, literally, we do enough in the streets for ourselves. Just, you know, the accountability is dealt with that. But then now you got them not even, you know, black men that look like us, not even giving a break or not even having any sense of, if this wasn't you in a uniform, bro, this could be done to you by the opposite race, but you're doing it to your own people. Like, there ain't no way to, you know, look past that, overlook it. It was really, that broke my heart more than anything, to see that our own people would handle our own people that look like you in such a fashion, to not where y'all just roughed them up and it was like, all right, bro, y'all did too much, but y'all killed him. You know, he succumbed to his injuries. You know, I think a couple of days later he died in the hospital. But it's like, bro, look, this is where we at, and it's all behind the badge, because a couple of them cats look lame. You know, I'm looking at the comments, you know, they probably used to get picked on or something, but it's like, bro, something, regardless of what race, what ethnicity, has to be done in regards to how police handle hostile situations, or hostile, situations. Like, at this point, I can't even really find the words, man. It was heartbreaking, to say the least, because I thought I clicked on the wrong article into somebody who was like, nah, that's what happened in Memphis. And out of all cities, like a beautiful black city like Memphis, you know, everybody has crime, but, you know, I don't know. It's just crazy, man. What was your thoughts, Flake?
When I first heard it, I said, man, they gonna kill them white motherfuckers down in Memphis, bro. They is not finna play no games. So I heard about it in Orlando, so that was the thought that I was out of town. So that was what I got. At first, I ain't get no names, I ain't get no pictures, I ain't get nothing. But the longer we was down there, we got done with the festivities, got back to the room and got the real. My comments was the same. They gonna kill them black motherfuckers right there. Cause Memphis don't play around when it comes to stuff like that. They don't really play around. Me and my sister we sitting up talking about it, and she said, them boys gonna have to move. They was like, for real. They gonna have to sneak out in the middle of the night. They gonna have to leave the city. Like, cause if they catch them out, it's gonna be a misunderstanding. This one hurt worse. It hurt worse because it's your own people. Like, you know the struggle that we've been going through as a society, dealing with police officers killing black people. And here we are, and you look at this list, and every last one of them was black. Man, that hurt my heart even more. It's like, this is ridiculous. You already understand our fight and where we come from. And then for you to do something like that on one person, like that is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the video has come out. I think they have taken the time to put the video out because they know they got to put some things in place. Because once they put that video out, a city like Memphis is a place that will riot. They will do that. And I ain't talking about when most people say they're going to riot, they're going to tear up your own community. Nah, they liable to go downtown and do this and tear some stuff downtown. Memphis not that city where, we going to burn down the auto zone in our own hood. No, they go on Bill Street. They going downtown. They going all the attractions. I hope they don't happen like this, but this is the type of city you're dealing with. That grit and grind is for real. It ain't just a basketball court. It ain't just the Redbirds playing baseball. No, that's how the city is for real. And they don't play no games about none of that at all, especially when it comes dealing with the police messing with people and killing people and stuff like that. We talking about a place where if you go to an attraction, Bill Street, the police is standing there with AR-15. So that lets you know how it goes down. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they're going to have to get some things in line, get some things in place before they release this video. I text somebody I know that's on the police force down there. I ain't got a response yet. So they let me know whatever's going on, it can't be released and they can't talk about it.
So here's another thought too, man. I've seen a lot of different questions, a lot of different reactions, and which is didn't really know how to take it, man. So people are saying it's funny how fast that they were fired before we seen a video, any investigation was done, or anything. Bless you, Flake. Now, what's y'all thoughts on that? Because
well, you got the police chief is a black woman. There's not finna mess around and not finna play around. So she gonna go ahead and get them out there, then they're gonna be at her head. So she knew off top, I gotta fire him. Another thing, when you talk about Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, they don't play around either. I spoke with a state trooper some time back, and the state trooper basically said that the TBI told them, you better not raise your gun and shoot unless you see them with a gun pointed at you. Outside of that, you better not shoot your gun. And that was a meeting they had with Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. So I felt like she had to go ahead and get rid of them and fire them because the TBI is coming and she don't want her head on the chopping block either.
So to you, because this is the actual question, you don't think race had any indicator on, how fast and swift the city of Memphis moved on that? You just think that was just the standard protocol?
Yeah, the black woman was a police chief that's not gonna play no games with y'all.
Simple.
That's how I don't think if they was white, if they was purple, if they was green, it don't matter. If they was Mexican, Asian, it don't matter. I think as soon as that video got in her hands, she seen what happened, you getting fired. And then she was so confident that they was wrong. That's why I feel like whatever this video is so bad that she was so confident that she was right. Within that amount of time, she made the decision on her own that y'all gotta go. Like it wasn't none of that, oh, let's look, let's make sure this happen, let's make sure this happen. To me, it had to be like, okay, this is an open and shut case. Like y'all had no business doing that at all. So we're not gonna waste no time with all that extra particulars giving you a week off with pay. Nah, you gone.
Yeah. So if it doesn't meet our standards, we're separating from you. That's just how it should be across the board. So you got to respect that.
That's how it should be across the damn board.
Okay, I got you. What was your thoughts on?
Because of what y'all just said, y'all last statement, that's how it should be across the board. To me, it is a racial thing because black people are the ones who are always, and I'm not saying always because of course not always. So don't make that absolute statement. But black people are always the ones who take the moral, integrity, character, high road, and standard and do the right thing when it comes to times like this. We don't play that game of, oh, we gonna save these people, or we gonna do this, or we gonna do that just because of their skin color, or because how long they've been on service. We trying to save their pension or anything like that. We don't play them games. We look at what it is, if it's right or wrong, morally, ethically. I'm sorry, I'm sick, so I can't even say it. Ethically. Oh Jesus, let me just stop. But
sound like Flake trying to read.
But yeah, and so we look at that and then we make a decision from there. And so that's why I will say it is racial, because at the end of the day, we don't play no games when it comes to stuff like this about anybody. It could have been a white person and she still would have done the same thing, I believe, or whatever the case may be. And so I think that's because black people have a different little, well, as the saying goes, we got to work 10 times harder to be in certain positions and to get certain places as other people do. So we take that 10 times harder work ethic that we put in and that blood, sweat, and tears that we put in, and we make sure that we ain't playing with our jobs or giving people a reason to get rid of us for some of the decisions that we make. So that's why I would say it is a racial thing.
Now I'm gonna throw a wrench in the game too. I meant to bring this up in my original statement. Now, as I did the research on the police officers, all of these officers are young. And what I mean is young in age, and what I also mean is they've been on the force 5 years and below. Every last one of them. So I do kind of wonder, as I spoke about over the weekend in private, I do wonder if that has something to do with it also. So you're not dealing with somebody been on force 15, 20 years, as Spears brought up, is pension gonna be in the play and all that. These brothers ain't getting no pension. It's 5 years and under. So they can get rid of them and don't have to worry about paperwork of trying to figure out if we gonna give them pension, not gonna give them pension, how much the pension gonna be, this, that, and other. So I wonder if that also plays a factor when you're dealing with young officers.
I think, you know, y'all made some real good points with that, and I like the way Spirits tied that knot in regards to just making those executive decisions, because it is harder for us to get into those positions. And so if you're a shot caller, and let's be honest, of being a Black woman in pretty much a male dominant, you know, industry, I mean, she has to make the right decision for that, because of course everybody would be coming for a job if she didn't. And I don't know if I would say that age played a factor. I really just think in this case, severity, because if I looked at it in its entirety, I would almost think that if a Black woman was in charge and it was young Black males, if there was a reason of doubt for her to say, let me just make sure I thoroughly go through everything and make sure I'm not overreacting just because I know there's going to be some backlash. I am a Black woman dealing with the all Black male case that happened to, you know, somebody died on our hands, you know, with our officers. I think she, you know, would made her have some sympathy if there was some. So I don't know if age played a factor as much as it just being with the real skin folks. We just, hey, this is what this is now. I might ride with you right or wrong, but you still was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I, you know, in this case, when it's jobs, hey, you know, I can't co-sign that, because any way of me waving or trying to play the fence, I could lose my job. I could lose my credentials. You know, this could stop my career because, yeah.
Right. You know, as Black folks, we always say, you ain't about to fuck this up for me. I work hard, and as it being a Black woman, like y'all said, she's not gonna get the same leeway as Officer Anderson that's been on the force for 30 years. It's not gonna happen like that for her. Also, I look at this too. It wasn't a shooting. They beat this man to death. So you had plenty of time to say, hey, bro, that's enough. Hey, man, it ain't like it was a quick thought. Oh, I thought there was a gun and it wasn't. Or I thought he was reaching for something and it wasn't. You actually had time to stop to say, hey, man, what we doing here? Like, it's plenty, as you throwing punches, as you kicking, as you doing whatever, thoughts run through your mind of, hold on, somebody should be saying, hey, let's stop. What are we doing here, y'all? So you had time to think. With each punch, you had time to think. With each kick, you had time to think, whether it been a choke, or whatever it is. You had plenty of time to think. It wasn't reactionary just off down the first few punches might have been. But when you jumping somebody and beating them, it's like, come on, man.
I mean, you said it right, because, you know, just being in the mix, you know, growing up around certain things, I've even heard some of the most stiff cats I didn't ever seen in my life. Once they didn't realize that you ain't fighting back, hey, bro, that's enough, man. We're gonna get on up out of here. They might run off and go on about their business, and they not, unless it's just some real deal, like we gonna stand on business, it probably wouldn't have been no hands involved anyway. But if we just beating you like that, you know, if they just beating you like that, then I don't see, even with you being in that type of predicament, like, all right, that's enough. But for you to take it to that extent, that's just an overuse of power, and it's just, you're no different from anybody else that acts behind a badge. You had a, you know, ego stroke or something, like an ego trip. You had the badge, it's 1 on 5. Like, how do y'all get to the point where, again, police officers, now we're not talking about normal everyday citizens. These are police officers beating somebody to death. Like, what was your point? No, he didn't have no guns, and like, what was your point? Like, I don't get it, man. I really don't. I can't wait to see the video. Unfortunately, unfortunate circumstances, but I definitely got to see of what led to them going to that extent, to where 5 men, basically, the family had described him as they used him as a human pinata. Is what came out of his people's mouth.
But the other thing is, again, because we don't have no video, so I don't know if batons was used, but that's the only way, because if you've been in scratches and stuff like that, and you've been in the paint, you know, got jumped or jumped somebody, you know it's hard for 5 people to be on one person. Now, unless they got the batons out, then yeah, you could swing on somebody with 5 batons at the same time, but it's hard for simultaneously for 5 people to be on one person. And the report says that it was for 3 minutes long. 3 minutes is a long time. So they had to be taking turns and, you know, tagging in and tagging out type stuff and everything. Or even if it was semi-simultaneously, they had to be hitting each other, because ain't no way that, I'm pretty sure at some point we all know if you ain't got no out, you ball up and you protect yourself. So at some point, I believe he was balled up trying to curl him in fetal position, protecting himself, and they were just waylaying and going on him. And so they had to be, some people had to be in and out, some people had to be pushing the other people to get in the way to get their licks in. And how you just do that for 3 minutes long? Like, it don't make sense. And to your point, Rose, like, even the stiffest of cats be like, oh, nah, that's enough. He ain't want it. And again, if he wants something, then he'll come back and he'll get this again. But that's enough for now. And unless it's on something, then of course the person ain't getting up. But ain't too many people just fighting like that, trying to kill somebody with their hands like that. Like, so I just don't see how they could do that, and why they would do that, and where common sense came in at. But hey, as the saying goes, common sense ain't so common. Common sense ain't so common.
Yeah, it's just, be real with you, man. You know, it's probably a lot of people won't say it. Just seeing, well, I haven't seen it, but just hearing and knowing of what the ramifications was that lead up to this point, this one hurt worse than any of the other ones that I have ever even thought about talking about or even discussing in private, is because it was our own. And we could talk, like I said, again, like we could talk about what goes on in our own community. But when you get it to that point, man, like at what point do we look at each other as, you know, brothers and sisters and be like, hey, you know what, we ain't got to be all in kumbaya and we shaking hands and speaking to everybody, but words just to respect, just to go about your normal duties, the rest of the person going about your business and vice versa. But we can't give each other the respect on the streets, and then we got authorities and law officers that look like us that still ain't. It's going to be just an all-out war amongst our people, even more. You know what I'm saying? Because now you don't respect the black cop that walk up and look like you and actually kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? You mess up that, and then for the people that pour into the communities and try to tell the kids like, hey, you know, Officer John over there, he's cool. You can't really, how do you explain that to them? You tell them about this story, they see it on the news. This was 5 black police officers that look like they would be hooping at your local park if they weren't on duty. So it's like that type of thing. It's like we just have to, everybody ain't got to be cool, but the lack of respect for our own people that look like us is just the issue. Like, you ain't got to be cool with everybody, but just give people the respect and just kind of stay out the way and just don't be involved with stuff like this. But if we got to this point, like, where is the hope? What do we latch on to? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no out. You got to pray for a white cop to be the cool one and be like, hey, you know what? Here's your ticket, going about your business. You know your license suspended. Can you call somebody to come get you? You know what I'm saying? Or not? You know you got to go down, or we got to go and take you down. That's by law. You know, just the standard procedure. But when we get to this point, it's like ain't no respect. It's about the badge. It ain't even about your people. Like, ain't nothing I do, regardless of what I might. You know, at some point you just have to have respect and look at, you know what? Let's make it to see another day on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got that. I ain't gonna lie and say we do. We don't. For the vast majority, it just seems like it's a very much of a lack of respect, no matter the age. It ain't nothing. We just out here. We every man for himself.
Hey,
I said, fuck them 5 bitch niggas, man. Shit. Yeah. And every cool police officer I ran into been black. It been police officers that's been black that put me over, and I probably did something I ain't supposed to. And they be like, hey, I ain't supposed to let you do that. Now, somebody else pull you over, you supposed to do A, B, C, D. All right, let me check your registration. Everything good. All right, cool. All right, so. Hey, make sure you get that taken care of, because the next time they probably gonna give you a ticket. I ran across plenty of black police officers been cool. I ain't never ran across one that's been terrible. So if you in that city and that's the experience you had, and then you see these 5, it's like, well, damn, hey, fuck, man. Like, we shit.
Well, see, I got opposite stories from you. I'm not saying I ain't never ran into no cool black officers, but I've also ran into some officers who feel like they got to prove a point because they are black, and so then they try to go harder and do more and all that other stuff. But one of the most the most causing of evil or wickedness, one of the biggest causes of evil or wickedness is a fragile ego. And them five hoe ass niggas got fragile egos. For that one Tyree, that one person said something, because he probably said something slick from the reading or whatever, because they said it was a little verbal confrontation that he ran off on them. And they got bruised egos, and because they was fragile egos and they don't know how to take words or criticism or anything, they felt like, oh, we got to get this man. But that's what it is for white folks, that's what it is for black folks, that's what it is for pink folks, green folks. And so a fragile ego will cause a lot of danger and harm, and that's just sad that people egos are that fragile that they feel like they got to do something, take a man's life, plant some evidence on you, do whatever it is to ruin people's lives. Like, it's just sad.
You're right, bro. Ego and, lack of emotional intelligence, man. We've talked about it on several episodes, man. And I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means, man, but just black men in general, we logic has to kick in for us a lot quicker when you leave that house, man. I can always say, Flakers always told me that because I was young and being a hothead, but he always told me they got a place for you if you don't ever move with no logic. And that just stuck with me since my first police encounter when I was in my teens in Nashville. Like, you got to move logic. They don't care nothing about your intelligence. They look at that as you disobeying, you don't want to, they going to make an example out of you however they got to do it. If it means for them to break the law to make you, held guilty for something or even have to go to court for it. So, and it don't mean cower down when you see a police officer. That's not what I'm meaning, but we just have to understand that sometimes having situational awareness about what you're in, regardless if you're the person that's in authority or the person that's, communicate with somebody like that, we just got to have emotional intelligence to realize to make it to the next day, because, it's chess, not checkers, man. We just so caught up in the moment that we literally losing careers and losing lives behind something that could really just be, man, you got it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got it right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we both can go up, but we both gonna lose if you look at it that way, and it ain't about being less of a man. It's just actually being a man and realizing which means more. For me to do what I need to do to you and my people got to call me, collect for the rest of my life and on FaceTime in the prison cell, or you got it, bro. And you get in your car, you bump your little music on about your business, fire your blunt, drink your beer, or whatever you do. Just a cool ride home and just realize it wasn't that deep, man. That's really what it comes down to, because every day you test it with something that can make you go there, but is it worth it? And that's just part of growing up. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it comes down to. So it's an unfortunate situation. Go ahead, bro.
My last thing I want to say about this is, and I just thought about it, the one thing that it did save them though is the blue shield saved them is because they're not in jail yet. And I think that's the only thing that saved them is, like, they got fired, but they're not in jail yet. So I think that's the one thing that the badge did save them, and the power of the blue saved them. Like, she had to let them go, but even with the video evidence that she seen, because she seen it already, she decided not to arrest them off of what she has seen yet. So I would say that's the one thing that the power of the badge, is still works for no matter who wears it.
And also this too, though. They no longer get the protection of the shield moving forward. So they now have to fend for themselves in regards to protection and from a legal perspective. So where there's a positive and there's a negative to that. So now they gotta, do what they gotta do. And like Flake was saying, he talked with someone in private, they definitely not gonna be in Memphis. So good luck with security. Definitely gonna have to hide that. Definitely gonna have to hide that one. So, but my prayers goes out to Tyre Nichols and his family. You know, rising power to him. And like I said, man, it's, you know, to Spirit's point, I know he spoke about people that talk about his race, but no, it's supremely black has nothing to do with hate. And I think everybody should feel like they're superior. So it's really more or less, if you understand what supremely black means, you wouldn't question what your ethnicity does or doesn't do. To be honest with you, it's all about self-awareness and knowing what you bring to the world, and that's supremely black. But I just think that the lesson that would be learned from this, for me, let me speak for myself, is that, you know, like I put in our little snippet video, you know, all these skin folks ain't your kin folks, but really, man, we as a community, we all just need to look at, you know, one, respect, and two, just, you know, situational awareness and emotional intelligence, and that'll prevent a lot of things from happening. And I'm not speaking about just interactions with police officers. This is amongst ourselves. A lot of things ain't really that deep, and, you know, put your pride to the side. And this comes from somebody that's very prideful, but it ain't gonna get you nothing, man. If you got to disconnect from people, disconnect. But man, look, live to see another day, man. You mean more to your people here than hours away or on a T-shirt or in a vase somewhere, because you got cremated after the fish fry. Just to be real with you. So that's my closing thoughts on that. What you got, Flizzy?
I was ready to go into. They want to talk about we racist, but let's talk about what's really racist. Then. Florida.
Yeah. Let's get into it.